Hello everyone, it's Siobhan here, the Galloping Housewife. On my daily head out to the yard. Just going straight out to the yard today, which is a bit different. I kind of was going to go for a run today, but I just had a few things that sort of took precedent at home. With we're just getting shit done really. And I keep talking about that I feel like I've got things under control and then I can move on to what I want to do. And life keeps happening, and it's just one of those things that sometimes that actually, and I've said this before, that part of getting shit done and getting your life organized is actually having that little bit of flexibility to cope with when the extra emails come in and you need to deal with stuff. Also having boundaries around that, so organizing your emails, organizing when you look at stuff, you choose. Make sure that you don't, and I'm a big one for turning all notifications off so that I choose to look at my email inbox, I choose to look at Facebook, I choose to look at Twitter when it suits me, and not have those things intrude on my space all the time. I have my phone on silent the entire time. I don't answer, and I rarely answer it. I will answer, I'll answer actually unknown numbers. And it was one of the things that I used to never answer unknown numbers, because it was always someone. Well, actually, in the old days when I was nursing, it was always someone looking for me to do a shift at work, but and then it was always someone looking for money or whatever. But now I'm at the point where I want to answer those unknown numbers, because it's generally something important that I need to deal with. So I kind of I have those really quite firm boundaries, but part of my existence is set up so that I've got this flexibility, this leeway. I've got a little bit of time, and I'm also, and that goes to the little bit about having discipline and focus. I intended to go for a run today. It's on my schedule to do the day that I'm up to in the Couch to 5K as part of my fitness program. But I am also 100% for not doing everything right. It's something that, as a perfectionist and as a type A personality, I have had to really work hard to get over, because the problem with being a perfectionist or wanting to do everything right all the time is that when things aren't perfect, you procrastinate, you stop yourself sending things out, and also, if I don't do everything perfectly, I used to be the person that had the books and stuff, and as soon as I made a mistake in my book, when I was writing a notebook, or when I was studying or doing whatever, I would stop, I would finish, I would quit, because it wasn't up to the standard that I held myself to, and I just couldn't go on, and so it's really, really important. The most important thing with anything in life, with study, with your business, with the work that you do, with with your health, with your diet, with your fitness, is not doing everything right, but doing things consistently, making those small changes and doing it most often. I've talked about the 80-20 rule before, and I just want to reiterate, that this is a day where it's absolutely brilliant. Like I have been for enough runs. I actually had an extra day off at the weekend, so only a couple of days ago, three days ago, because the weather was just absolutely appalling, and I actually didn't get out of my PJs all day. I loungewear all day, so I sat around and watched the Olympics and did fuck all. But it's but apart from that, I've actually been really quite. I have been consistent. Like I've gone most days. I'm sort of going out for my cardio exercise 3 or 4 days a week. I'm doing my weights sort of 3 days a week, and that's enough. That's more than enough. I don't need to do any more than that. And so it's really, really important that you give yourself, and especially if you're like me, especially if you're a little bit intense and you want to do, and you hold yourself to high standards, that you actually allow yourself to not do everything right. You'll be far more productive, you'll be far happier, far more relaxed, and you will actually get the results that you're looking for quicker, because you won't worry about the little hiccups that are on the way. You won't worry about everything being perfect. You won't worry. Actually, I was just doing I had to redo some videos for my Sort Your Shit Out course. I had a bit of a nightmare with the IT where a whole lot of files got wiped. Well, just disappeared, corrupted. So I had to redo a whole lot of videos, and I'm just putting them together to go into the PDFs now. And I have just realized that in one of them I started it with the wrong title, and I'm like going, and it's a good video. I do them and I do them like these in one take, because I feel that what comes out is often what needs to come out, and if I do things that are scripted, they don't sound like me for a start. They're not real, they're not you don't resonate with them, and also I will find myself talking about things that need to be talked about, as opposed to any sort of preconceived ideas that I have. And and it's the same thing. It's the same thing with what I write. So you'll read my posts, and I actually put something up yesterday. If you want to go back onto the Facebook page or the Instagram page and look it up, it's the one about giving up, and it's had a lot of exposure. It's been viewed something like 30,000 times already, in just over 24 hours. And had a lot of feedback, and had a lot of response. And I wrote that in maybe 5 minutes. Probably from concept to having it up online was about 10 or 15 minutes by the time I did the wee graphic to go with it. And it's like, that's just how I operate. It's not something I find, and that's my best work. That's the stuff that comes out, that resonates, that you guys identify with, that it says something to your soul. And if I try and censor myself, if I try and make these things perfect, if I try and even if I try and decide a lot what I'm going to be talking about in advance, it's never as good. It's never as good. It sounds contrived. It's not from the heart. It's not as real, and it doesn't get, it doesn't impact the people that I need it to impact. So yeah, I mean, that's not to say, I mean, I do spend a lot of time sort of mulling things over, and I spend a lot of time actually educating myself and, developing my own, working on myself, because I find that is it's the lessons that I learn that other people need to hear, and it's the ones that impact me, because we are a specific sort of person that will also impact my audience. So anyway, I mean, I've sort of gone quite a bit off tangent now, but that part of that whole what I really wanted to say was that just give yourself a little bit of leeway, give yourself a little bit of slack, and let yourself make a mistake, and be seen for who you are. It's okay, and that if you really want to make a change, it's not being perfect's not going to do it for you. It's the little shit, doing the little shit consistently that's going to get you there. It's following the path of your headlights at night. It's the incremental changes. It's the 1% a day for 100 days. All right, I'm going to leave you there, and I will see you next time I'm in the car going somewhere. Bye now.